They stay that way for a long time. Catra's face tucked into Adora's shoulder, Adora gently cradling Catra's head. Adora is careful not to hug Catra too hard or make her feel restrained, anticipating the moment that Catra will start to pull away. But Catra doesn't. She hangs on so tightly it hurts, her claws digging through Adora's jacket and into her back, latching into her, like she did when she was a kitten and didn't know how much her claws could hurt. Adora tries not to wince, tries not to move a single muscle, worried that if she does, the spell will break and Catra will struggle away, appalled at having shown weakness. But Catra doesn't let go, and so neither does Adora. At some point, Glimmer and Bow slip away to give them privacy. Adora is dimly aware of them moving in and out of the room, having hushed conversation with Entrapta. Finally, Bow comes over and crouches down next to Adora. We cleared out the boxes in the brig and set up a cot, he says, as quietly as possible. Do you want to try moving Catra in there? Adora flinches a little bit at him calling it the brig. She doesn't want Catra to feel like a prisoner, but she also knows it's more or less the same as all the other rooms on the ship, and it's warm and dark and private. Catra will be comfortable there. If Catra heard Bow, she doesn't show it. Adora gives Bow a slight nod, then cautiously shifts to bring some life back into her legs that have long since fallen asleep. Hey, Catra, she whispers, as gently as possible. Catra doesn't respond or move. Adora almost wonders if she's fallen asleep, except that her grip on Adora hasn't relaxed at all. Adora tries again. Catra, she breathes. Bow and Glimmer set up a bed for you. Do you want to go there so you can rest? For a long moment, Catra still doesn't respond. Then finally, Adora feels her nod into the crook of her neck. Okay, whispers Catra, muffled by the fabric of Adora's jacket. But she still doesn't move, and her arms still don't loosen. Adora gives her a moment, then decides to take charge. I'm going to carry you, okay? She says, running a hand gently over the back of Catra's head in an attempt to rouse her. Catra's only response is another faint nod into her shoulder. Need a hand? Says Bow. But Adora shakes her head. I got her. Carefully, she shifts Catra in her arms, slipping one arm behind Catra's knees, and the other around the small of her back. Catra still doesn't let go. Her head stays buried on Adora's shoulder, like it's the last safe place in the world. Adora lifts Catra as gently as she can, wobbling a bit on her numb legs as she stands. It's more difficult than she anticipated. Her limbs are weakened by the deep, burning ache that she's come to understand is a side effect of Shira's healing powers. Her skin is always whole again, her wounds gone without a trace when she shifts back after even the hardest won battles. But she can always still feel a dull ghost of them weighing on her bones. Sometimes she thinks it would be easier if they would stay. Bow hovers nearby, ready to help if needed. But Adora gets her footing and stubbornly grips Catra to her chest as she staggers past him. The brig is dark, but faintly lit by the soft glow of the first one's tick that studs the wall. It's the smallest room on the ship, but Adora thinks that's a good thing. It feels cozy, safe, She lowers Catra onto the cot, her muscles screaming, waving Bo away once she's made it. He backs respectfully out of the room and shuts the door. We're here, Adora murmurs to Catra. And only then does Catra start to hesitantly unfold, extricating herself from Adora's arms. Adora winces as her claws slide free from her back. Catra looks around the dim room, blinking as if it's too bright. Her eyes are unfocused, confused. Her movements are sluggish. Adora feels a pang of sympathy. If her body is sore, Catra must be feeling it 10 times more after the beating she took. The memory of Catra's broken body, lying still on the cold floor of Prime's ship, flashes back into her mind, and she swallows the lump in her throat. Catra hasn't been in her life for a long time, but she hadn't known how unbearable it would be to lose her for good until that moment. Then Catra's nails sink into the mattress, and her whole body goes rigid. She looks up at Adora, her pupils shrinking into pinpricks, her fur bristling. And Adora recognizes the first signs of panic. Catra, it's okay. Adora instinctively tries to soothe her, reaching out a comforting hand. Catra's face crumples, and she recoils away from Adora as if she's seen a ghost. No. It comes out like a sob. There is no anger in her voice, just fear and despair. Catra tries to get off the bed, but her legs are too weak to support her, dumping her unkindly to the ground. Catra! Adora yelps, reaching again to help her. But Catra scrambles backwards, wedging herself against the wall like a cornered animal, breathing hard. Her tail is bushy. Adora hasn't seen her like that since they were small children, before Catra learned to hide her vulnerability behind a mask of indifference. Get out of my head, Catra whimpers. Just leave me alone. Don't you have enough already? It takes Adora a moment to understand. Then she gets it, and her blood turns to ice. Catra curls up into a ball and sobs, her claws tearing at her head as if the pain will wake her up, as if she can rip the ghost of Horde Prime out of her mind. Adora launches forward, grabbing Catra's wrists and wrestling them away from her head. Catra, no, this is real. It's okay. You're safe now, I'm here. Catra thrashes, slashing blindly at her, howling. Just get over with it, she wails. Please! I told you she's not coming back. Just let me go, please. Adora has never heard Catra plead like that. She resolves in that moment that she's going to kill Horde Prime with her own hands, and she's going to enjoy it. Adora throws herself bodily on top of Catra, tackling her to the floor. She gets her flaying hands pinned, but not before taking a claw to the face. Catra squeezes her eyes shut, turning her face desperately away, her chest still heaving with sobs. Catra, Adora speaks as firmly as she can. Catra, stop. This isn't a Horde Prime mind trick. I'm really here and you're being a major pain in my ass right now. Catra opens her eyes, looking up at Adora's face in confusion. Adora cracks a weak grin. I came back for you, dumbass. I saved you. And you can bet I'm never going to let you live it down. Catra hesitates. Then she shakes her head slowly, eyes unfocused with tears. She wouldn't come back for me. Well, tough luck, because I did. So can you please stop with the scratching and just lie down on the stupid bed and rest? Catra isn't fighting her anymore, but there is still distrust in her eyes. Adora tries another tact. Also, can I just say that Horde Prime is a major loser? I thought he'd be like a scarier Hordak, but at least Hordak knew when to shut up. Catra actually laughs. The same strained chuckle from when she was tottering on the edge of the platform, fighting with everything she had against Prime's control. Her body has gone limp underneath Adora. Adora carefully lets Catra's hand go and flops down beside her. Would fake Adora say that? She says smugly. She wants to hold Catra and comfort her, but she figures that gentle touches aren't what Catra needs right now. They would remind her too much of Prime's possessive gestures.